We arrive finally to our highlight of the day, the startup pitch session. It will be hosted by Gytis Adomavičius, Chairman of the Transport Innovation Association Board. And I would like to introduce to you the jury members. Tadas Ramanauskas, Head of Investment at Coinvest Capital. Thank you for being here. Roberta Rudokienė, Head of Litban. It's a pleasure to have you here. Povilas Žinys, Director of Plug and Play Lithuania. And Karolis Tautkevičius, Chief Digital Officer at Haveland Group. Let's make a round of applause for our jury members and for Gytis. Good luck to all of you.
Jūs žinot, tie, kurie čia šeštą kartą, tai tikrai žino, tie, kurie gal pirmą kartą, tai pasikartosiu, tai yra šitoj transporto inovacijų forumo daly sudėta daugiausia mano širdies, tai yra startuolių sesija. Ši startuolių sesija yra skirta padėti startuoliams surasti klientų, surasti teisingų atsakymų ir gal net išsikelti naujų savo iššūkių. Tai dėl to labai ačiū komisijai, kuri tikrai nepagailėjo savo laiko, brangaus savo laiko ir skirs mūsų jauniesiam, o gal ir netokiem jauniems startuoliam. Bet aš noriu tik tai pasikartoti lietuvių kalba. Turim šaunų dviratį, kuris kainuoja beveik 6000 eurų. Tam reikia turėti transporto inovacijų asociacijos programėlę, kuri yra lengvai nusidownloadinama, nusiskanavus QR kodą. Ir tada toj programėliai reikia užsiregistruoti. Ten yra dešinėje, aš dabar nekrausiu, nes esu susirašęs startuolius. Tai reiškia yra scan QR kodą. Nusiskanuojat ir dalyvaujat, bet būkit būtinai salėje iki galo, nes suksim ratą, išsuksim jūsų vardą, tada kviesim, jeigu atsiliepsit, dviratis jūsų, galėsit šiandien važiuoti namo su juo. Jeigu neatsiliepsit, suksim ratą dar kartelį. Tai tiek apie tuos fainus dalykus, tai dar kartą ačiū dviračio kūrėjui ir dovanotojui, jų stendas tenai, tikrai labai puikus mobilumo pavyzdys. Kiekvieną rytą vesdamas savo šunis Algirdo gatvėje į lauką, matau, kaip mama veža 2 vaikus, būtent jų dviračiu į darželį. Tai neužtemsiu šito smagaus ir gero reikalo ir čia iš karto į sceną pakviesiu startuolį Palm, kuris dirbtinio intelekto valdomų būdu kelių transportą daro automatizuotą ir viską sudeda į vieną platformą. Tai Palm startuolis. Va.
Hei, turbūt linksmiausia konferencijos dalis. Esu Tadas, atstovauju įmonę NFQ Technologies, kuri jau yra sukūrusi technologijas 3 pasauliniams milijardinės vertės produktams. Su logistikos industrija dirbam gerą 10-metį ir šiandien pristatysiu mūsų naujausią iniciatyvą Palm, kuri transporto įmonėms padeda surasti aukščiausios vertės krovinį. Bet apie viską nuo pradžių. Transporto industrija turi savų paslapčių. Viena iš jų yra tuščių mylių reiškinys. Turbūt visi esat pažįstami su juo. Tai yra, kuomet vilkikas važiuoja be krovinio, nors krovinys yra. Deginamas kuras, vairuotojų mokamas atlyginimas, bankui lizingo paskola. 23 metai Eurostatas suskaičiavo, kad nuo visų padarytų pervežimų Europoje 22 apie 30% buvo atlikta pervežimų naudojant tuščius vilkikus. Kitaip sakant, kai kelyje matote važiuojantį vilkiką, kas 5 važiuoja tuščias. Tuščių mylių problema skirtingose rinkose šiek tiek varijuoja procentaliai, bet ne procentai yra svarbiausi. Svarbiausi yra eurai ir eurų kiekis, kurį reikia išleisti tam, kad apmokėtumėte tuščių mylių reiškinį. Matematika yra paprasta. Tam, kad daryti transporto biznį, sunkvežimių transporto biznį, per mėnesį vilkikas turi važiuoti maždaug 10-12 tūkstančių kilometrų. Eurostatas sako, kad apie trečdalis iš jų bus padaryta tuščia eiga. Viso to kaina mėnesio gale už vieną vilkiką yra arti 2000 eurų. Valdote 100 vilkikų parką, padauginkit iš 100, metų gale pasieksite beveik 2 milijonų eurų sąskaitą, jei jūsų parke yra apie 100 vilkikų. Rimta problema, jo labiau, kad ES keliais važiuoja daugiau negu 6000 vilkikų. Kas sukuria šią problemą? Visi žinom, kad vilkikai nevažiuoja patys savaime ten, kur panorėja. Žmogus suplanuoja, kur jis turi važiuoti, kur yra krovinys. Eurostatas sako, kad žmogaus atliekamas planavimas arba jo efektyvumas yra maždaug minus 2 milijonai eurų per metus už 100 vilkikų. Ką daro mūsų naujausia iniciatyva? Palm tai būtent keičia rankinį neautomatizuotą planavimą vilkikam pervežti krovinius. Pagrindinis yra uždavinys, ką daro Palm, tai yra suformuoti holistinį ratą, kaip pervežti krovinius. Holistinį tai reiškia, kad planuojame ne A, B segmentą ir ieškome rinkoje paties brangiausio krovinio ir tada turim tuščių mylių efektą, nes sunkvežimis nuvažiavęs į Italijos kulno batą turės problemą, jį iš ten kažkaip reikės iškrapštyti, ar ne? Tai mes planuojame maždaug 7-10 dienų į priekį, koksgi turėtų būti optimaliausias visų vilkikų maršrutų atliekamas ratas ir pagal poreikį realių laikų jį adaptuojame, kai reikia pokyčius padaryti. Palm surenka duomenis iš rinkoje esančių biržų apie krovinius, tuo pačiu Palm turi duomenis apie konkrečios įmonės poreikius arba verslo modelį. Koks yra parkas, kokia yra kompozicija, kiek ten yra tentų, kiek ten yra šaldytuvų ir pagal tai gali išrinkti aukščiausios vertės kandidatus, kuriuos galima panaudoti formuojant patį optimaliausią maršrutą vilkikams. Kai prireikia, tą ratą galima optimaliausią ratą galima atnaujinti. Taigi, pagrindinis uždavinys, ką mes sprendžiam, tai transporto įmonėm padeda būti konkurencingesniem. Žmogus yra nepajėgus išspręsti tuščių mylių problemas, tą turėtų padaryti Palm. Žmogus yra planuodamas, kaip minėjau, sukuria 2 milijonų eurų negatyv efektą ir galiausiai jis negali užtikrinti aukščiausios grąžos maršruto. Palm kūrė komanda, kuri jau yra sukūrusi 3 pasaulinius startuolius, milijardinės vertės, todėl, sakom, sprendimas yra teisingose rankose ir bereikia duomenų, kur šitą eksperimentą būtų galima vystyti toliau. Ačiū už dėmesį.
Tadai, norėtųsi sužinoti, ar europinis reguliavimas labai trukdo dirbtiniam intelektui naudoti transporto sektoriui?
Absoliučiai ne, sprendžiant šitą uždavinį, jeigu pastebėjot, sistemingai vengia už žodžio dirbtinis intelektas, iš esmės tai yra skaičiavimo pajėgumų turėjimas, kad įvertinti rinkoje esančias galimybes ir suformuoti tą efektyviausią ratą. Dirbtinis intelektas taip ten yra, bet aš sakyčiau, pradžiai tai yra tiesiog mašininis mokymasis ir algoritmai, kurie šitą užduotį ir sprendžia. EU reguliavimas yra absoliučiai neturintis jokio nei teigiamo, nei neigiamo efekto šitam uždavinį spręsti.
O norėčiau sužinoti apie konkurentus, ar niekas neturi panašių sprendimų ir kokią kainą, kur jūs pinigus uždirbsit?
Taip, puikus klausimas. Eksperimentų sprendžiant šitą problemą yra. Veikiančių sprendimų, ką sako Eurostatas, nėra. 23 metai mažiausiai 22% nuo visų pervežimų yra tuščios mylios. Eksperimentuojančių yra, sprendimo nėra. Šiandien mes ieškome partnerių, kurie padėtų išvystyti šį eksperimentą, bet ne tų, iš kurių norėtų uždirbti. Tai stadija yra tokia. Pats projektas, pati iniciatyva yra finansuojama beje inovacijų agentūros ir NFQ Technologies ir mūsų partnerių. Į šį projektą yra įliejama jau 3,5 milijonų eurų, atsilieta apie 3,5 milijonų eurų per ateinančius 20 mėnesių.
Ačiū, Tadai, labai. Ir į sceną kviečiam Burbį.
Hello, and let's meet the heroes of the modern world. This is Alona. She came from Ukraine, and she's starting a new life here in Lithuania. She moved to the second largest city of Kaunas, and she's starting her transitional period as a Bolt food delivery driver. Since she's new to the city, she needs to have some mapping solution in order to get from A to B. And in the city center of Kaunas, there's a bit of limitations for going with cars. So she needs to choose either the first solution, which is OpenStreetMaps, but she encounters two problems. One is that the route is going through a big crowd of people, which is slowing her down. And the other is basically an underground passage, which is stairs, or as we call them, kryptonite for cyclists. And the other option is Google Maps. But when she's using Google Maps, she encounters another two problems. Either she's getting routed through a slow and bumpy old town road, or she encounters one of my favorite obstacles, a pillar in the center of the pavement that is just the right size so that you cannot pass with a bicycle. Oh, so Alona is actually very sad because of that. She's overwhelmed because of a problem. She gets longer to deliver the goods, and the goods themselves are shaken up because of the stairs and the bad road. And we have a solution for that. Alona represents a bigger sector of last mile deliveries, which is estimated to be around 60 billion in 2030. And the bikes and cargo bikes are around 10% of that, at least to London's estimations. And we are looking at the future in 2030. But why bikes? Why not cars? Cars are faster, they make you look cool if you have a sporty one. They have a lot of space inside of them for different cargo. But the problem with cars is that cars themselves take a lot of space in parking lots, you have to sit in traffic a lot, and cars pollute a lot themselves. Cars pollute so much that most metropolitan areas like City of London have banned them, and you need to pay a fine in order to get into the center. But it's not just transport of London, and it's not just London. Most of the cities, as we heard panelists, Gytis said that Riga is planning to implement a low emission zone. We heard Richard from Volt saying that in Stockholm, new, like 2025, will have a low emission zone as well. And most of the cities, most of the countries in the European Union need, by directive, to have these zones of low or zero emission by 2030. So what does that mean to last mile deliveries? The European Union makes it clear. Bicycles need to be not just an afterthought, but one of the main delivery solutions and an equal player in the transport logistics. So most of the companies are moving there, like Bolt and Volt, DHL, and Uber having last mile delivery robots. So we are planning for that future with my team, and we already made the most detailed cycling infrastructure map of Kaunas. So we already have the map, we already have an app, an Android app, we already have 1,000 users that are helping us with our data, and they're providing, is that a segment bad or good segment, if there's a lot of cars there, or a bad road or something else. So we finished Kaunas, we're planning to map out Vilnius next, and then move to some more metropolitan area later. So our team consists of Paulius on my left, he is the president of Lithuanian Cycling Organization, Eugenijus on my right, his GitHub page lights up brighter than a Christmas tree, and me in the center, Gytis, I like sharing stories and talking to you guys. So our main customers are B2B, last mile as Alona represented, B2C as our customers are, We have a few competitors, but we tried them out in Lithuania and abroad, and they're not really good. And as I mentioned, we mapped Kaunas, we're trying to map Vilnius next, and we need an iOS app because we only have Android at the moment. For that, we need around 120K. So we're planning for this future, and I hope we're not the only ones. I hope one day you'll join us, and we'll bike to work as one. Thank you.
So as you start that you're looking for investments, so I will have questions. As representing Lithuanian Business Angel Network,
Okay.
again, what's your business model? So who's gonna pay you? And for what?
We are pursuing different possibilities. We don't have a clear answer at the moment, but we're pursuing like corporate greening, like something like Walk 15, but for cycling, to be more as an example. We are talking to Volt and Bolt, like last mile delivery companies. We're thinking about our customers as they are growing bigger and bigger, like a bigger community. Maybe the people that have cargo bikes or some carbon bikes that are very expensive are willing to pay bigger subscriptions in order to go to better roads. So we don't have an answer now, but we're looking for the future that is more ahead. And we're not looking at funding at the moment, but I'm just spreading awareness in like half a year when we will be ready for funding.
I have a question regarding the competition. Are you sure that you have like a competitive edge against like bike map or cyclers? I saw the picture in the slides that one of the customers said that cyclers are not the best, right?
Yeah.
But did you really do enough research to make sure that there will be demand for your app when they have, you know, like pretty established players already in the market?
It's a very tricky situation in general to map cycling. And usually the apps that are mapping cycling are getting a base of OpenStreetMaps as a base layer, and they are using that base layer. But I think that our corporate advantage is that we fix all of the mistakes that are both in OpenStreetMaps and both in the data that is provided by the government. We go and we have like a structure of volunteers that are going and checking the roads and checking if there's a bicycle lane going and poof, you go into a pit or something like that. So our corporate advantage is the fact that we are checking everything.
Ačiū, Gyti, labai. Tai laukiam GoSwift pristatymo.
Hello, nice to be here. I'm Viljar from GoSwift, and many probably already know us because we have made queue management solutions for borders, Lithuanian border, Estonian border, Finnish border, but that's not why we're here today. So why we're here today is to talk about the queue management solutions for terminals, industrial complexes, logistics centers, ports, and we just finished with our software as service solution, and that's our focus today. So what is the problem that we're seeing and what we're trying to fix is that we see long truck queues in front of the terminals and also limited space inside territories. So this is what we're focused on. We see that the truck drivers are idling, and also on the other side, the people who are waiting for the drivers don't know where they're coming. So in that sense, it's a waste of time. And also because of the trucks are idling behind the gates, then the result is higher pollution. We saw that there is a lack of communication. The drivers, the terminals, the transportation companies or carriers, they did not have a communication platform, but now they do. We see that in the terminals there are are queues in front of them and also limited space inside them. If we look at logistics centers, industrial complexes, then one of the main problems is that drivers do not know about the security and safety regulations that this certain terminal has. So we have fixed that also. I will tell you later. And wasted resources, so not good planning. So what we offer is arrival scheduling. The basic platform is to manage so the terminal could make the queues. And on the other side, the transportation companies or the drivers will select the time when they will plan to arrive to the terminal. Queue management, when the truck arrives, then the terminal employee can call the driver to loading. And the next step is to go more custom solutions is automated access and yard management. So if the truck arrives, will it get in automatically after call to loading? And how will it know exactly to which loading area to go? So, as said, either the logistic or the driver itself makes a registration to a certain terminal, and then the driver automatically will get a confirmation where inside they can also read about the safety security regulations, about other terminal-specific regulations that are necessary, the location for the loading area, waiting area, all can be added there. And gate assistance. So when the truck goes to the gate will open automatically. There are LED screens that are directing the driver, or if the drivers are using the mobile app, then we can give them directions through the mobile app as well. And we do make integrations. One of the examples is scales. So in some factories, there is a need to have the empty and full scale of the truck, so we do integrations with scales as well. And other integrations, so we integrate our solution with LED screens, with number detection cameras, with customer-specific ERP solutions. And our platform is ready for ECMR, so it has been tested, but we're waiting for the first pilots to move on. So some views from our platform. This is the terminal view. They can manage the time slots, they can see their parking lots, they can manage their temporary and basically their own employees access to territory and the cooperation partners. They can open the barriers to the system, they can add the carriers, or the carriers can register themselves to use it. The carrier view, they can add their drivers, they can add all the trucks there. So to make a reservation, it takes like 3 seconds. And the mobile app for the drivers. So they see all the reservations there, and they can start navigating to the territory. So to start using our solution, just go to our homepage, try it out, and if you need a more custom solution, book a meeting with us. Here are some examples. AB Milk Factory, which was just built in Estonia, Rightwood. And in progress today we have, these are Estonian examples, but Itella new logistics center, Kaubaväe Group, one of the biggest logistics centers, and Solina production. And that's it. Thank you.
Thank you.
So very much thank you for the presentation. My question is more or less on the defensibility. So who stops me from investing 200K tomorrow and doing the same solution?
No one. we have competitors in that sense. We have in Finland we have Visu, we have in Lithuania we have Logify, GoRamp is our competitor. So there are several, but in one way I think we're one step ahead because we took everything that they have, made it a bit better, and the user interface is a lot more convenient in our minds, at least.
Got it. Could you explain to me the go-to-market? How do you expect to go? Is it in Lithuania? Is it the Baltics? Is it Europe? Where and how?
We have already some customers from the past in Finland, Estonia, now in Latvia also. And if we talk about Lithuania, we have Lithuanian border. Is actually using our solution for years. Today, in January, we will start cooperation with Lithuanian customs. So they also have some terminals where they investigate the trucks and their goods. We did not start business in Lithuania yet, but we are doing this from distance. This is in our scope for this year. So, but about other markets, we are also operating in Turkey, Bulgaria, Kenya.
How easy is it to acquire a customer? How long is it and how much does it cost?
Just to use the software as a solution, it takes like 5 minutes for the customer to just start using it. And this is also something we see that our competitors do not do. They don't just offer the basic platform just free, like for 99 euros. But to make these custom solutions, where we need to also install LED screens, number detection cameras, some other physical hardware, then usually it takes like 4 months.
Understood. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We need to move forward. And I would like to have on the stage Asistobe.
Hi, great to be here in Lithuania. I'm Johan. I'm from the city of Bergen on the west coast of Norway, and I founded Asistobe 4 years ago. I used to be head of public transport, director of passenger transportation, and I'm building my dream software for any city in the world. So the basic question when you're planning public transport, or in a broad sense, it could be car sharing, could be anything, is if you know where people move, when people move, and why people move, you can change how they move. The thing is, we don't know the first 3 questions. So basically, we're offering a solution where we're switching from reactive to predictive transport planning. 99% of all cities, I'm fairly sure about the number, are using reactive old data. Many are using surveys, interviewing people to where do you go, where are you traveling, and there's high cost for consultancy. So we're building a platform, a SaaS platform, where we use real data, real mobility data, which is high accuracy data at a low cost. Copenhagen just releasing their really good transport model for Copenhagen. They spent millions of euros on a specific platform for Copenhagen. We are offering a solution that works everywhere. So just to explain where we are in the marketplace. So we are strategic demand planning. So the transportation software market for public transport is above 1 billion euro today. The strategic demand planning is also almost 1 billion euro, but that is contested by consultancies and one-offs. So it's no real competitor using real data. I'm not saying they're not competitors, that's a different question, but no real using real mobility data, always updated in our space. We are working with some of these consultancies, and we're working with some of those to the left side on the transportation market, because they do an operational planning. So if you already design your public transport network, they know where the drivers should meet, where you should park your buses. That's really good software. We are in understanding the mobility solution. So what did we do? We collect a number of mobility data. One key source is mobile network data, and that is basically your phone connecting to towers and the positioning. Some companies trying to use that as a sole source, and I can tell you that's not going to work because it's not precise enough. So we combine that with public transit data, city sensors. We have an agreement with TomTom for cars. We use OpenStreetMap, even an API to Google to have real understanding of how people are moving. And it's a combination of that we make this engine, but to incorporate data and to visualize data that gives you the complete mobility picture, always updated. It's not old data, it's always updated. So our platform, we're using AI 3 ways. So the first part is basically combining data. Clever technology to combine the different data sources, which I normally say we are combining incompatible data. Of course, they're not incompatible because we are combining them. So then you can understand how the situation is. The company name is Asistobe. So this is as is. This is the historical data. And based on that, we predict the future. We can predict future transport need, and that is the to be part of the name. And you can create future transport scenarios on what's going to happen in the future. And based on that, when we know how people are moving, then we have optimization algorithms for how the public transport network should operate. And that's where we can reduce car traffic, reduce congestion, reduce the carbon footprint, and we demonstrated up to 30% reduction of carbon footprint, 25% reduced OPEX, and even 12% increased ridership. So just a sneak peek of how we are identifying inefficiencies in the network. So this is probably hard to read, but this is basically taking a city, dividing it into a number of zones. A couple of hundred, maybe 1,000 zones, and then looking at what's the real travel time between all these zones. And the kind of rule of thumb in public transport, if the travel time, not from home to where you're going, is more than 1.5 times the car, then you have a not so good service. So basically looking at all these zones, looking at where do we have an excellent service with green, and then we can start. That's where we see inefficiencies, just giving you the example, and then we're going to use that for optimization later. Basically, company started 4 years ago. We're part of ERT Air Mobility, won projects with them. They also invested in us, and now we are close to 20 people and expanding all over Europe. Onboarding Naples as we speak, moving on to UK now, and basically we are really offering a low-cost platform where you can take data from any city in Europe, probably in the world, and make your transport model in less than a month. And then you will have the ability as a planner to use this data, investigate them, without having to do much more or understanding data science. So right now we structured based on investors. We structured our software as a freemium model. So you can get up and running with just the public transit data, like from your transit app, from the ticket system, and we are able to take that on almost any format and give you a free version, any city in Europe, free version to get up and going. So that's it for me.
Thank you for the presentation. I have a question. Since you collect such sensitive data of like when, how, why people move, how do you leverage the privacy concerns with all of that?
So we collect different data sources, make a model on how people are moving. We have no sensitive data. We are doing every data we're using is anonymized and even randomized. So it's a representation of how people are moving, not you as an individual, but big chunks of people, how they are moving.
All right, and another question, do you have any customers at the moment?
Yeah, I think I showed you some.
All right.
So yeah, obviously it's launched, we have paying customers, we are expanding. I made four customer meetings today in Lithuania, so I'm really happy to be here.
So with that, as a B2G sector, right? You, as I understand, you sell to B2G sector. It's definitely a longer sales cycle. How do you approach that? And in the future, are you planning to approach bigger markets?
So in some countries, this is B2G, but we just signed one of the biggest public transport operators in the world, StartDrive, because in some countries, the operator has much more freedom than, for example, in Norway. So it's both B2G and B2B, depending on which market you are. In North America, it would definitely be a B2B market.
How much data are you collecting and what's your cloud bill?
It's like petabytes. I don't want to go into it. So luckily, we are part of Google's AI program. So we get a lot of credits for storing data and using their algorithms, some of the algorithms. So we're not paying much because, but obviously Google wants to make money sometime.
Yeah, exactly. So have you foreseen how the economics will work for the future? Because obviously it's very expensive to collect that kind of data and analyze it live all the time.
So, but that's what it's a lot of pre-processing going on. So the pre-processing of data. So it will probably at some point might need to be some limitations of what you can do and probably how we scale this on a premium version. Do you want access to everything for the last 10 years all the time immediately? Then you might have to pay a premium for that. But if you can tell us something about what you need, then you can structure it a bit differently, if that answers your question.
Thank you very much. I will share some ideas after that, like chairman of Transport Innovation Association, but after pitch, because you have to put one layer plus. I will tell you what kind of layer.
Very good. I'll come and sit next to you then.
Okay. Thank you very much. Ir dabar StartDrive. We would like to have on the stage StartDrive.
Hi everyone, I'm Mikalai, the co-founder and CEO of. What does StartDrive do? StartDrive enables the European Union-based transportation company to hire drivers from anywhere in the world. StartDrive builds an international database of drivers and chargers for each contact with candidates. The current cost of hiring one driver through StartDrive is about €50. And now please imagine you're the owner of the mid-sized transportation company and you need to hire about 20 drivers per year. Your current cost of hiring one driver is about €500 per every hire, and it's totaling €10,000 annually. With StartDrive, all you need to do is create a company profile and choose from suitable drivers. And it will cost you about €1,000 annually and saving you €9,000, and you can reinvest this money in your own business or personal expenses. Our team, my co-founder Dmitry and I, in the last 12 years, we have run several joint businesses. 2 of them includes a transportation company with 30 trucks and a recruitment driver agency in Europe. Other members of our team have experience building projects in logistics and transport sector. Our traction. Since launch in just 5 months, more than 500 companies have used our service. In 1.5 months of monetization, we have gained 50 paying companies and generated 13,000 in revenue. Currently, our platform has over 20,000 registered drivers. Unique insights. First, it turns out that a company prefers to work with a large database of drivers and contact them directly instead of waiting for incoming application. The second, the transport business is one of the few industries where workforce relies on migrants, meaning that local job board cannot be effective. The market size of driver recruitment in the EU, the US, and Canada is worth $13 billion. Now we have opened a round to raise money, $500,000 to achieve 3,000 paying companies and to expand our driver database to 500,000 profiles. That's all.
Thank you. Question, as driver skills are a very important topic, do you help to evaluate or verify driver competences?
And now we are not verified skills of drivers. It's now on the site of transport company. We have a big database of drivers, and company directly contact with drivers and check their skills. But in the future, we plan to verify driver skills in the specific regions like Asia and Africa.
And maybe you see which markets will be the main markets for drivers in the future, as we know that the European Union is in shortage.
You mean from which countries it's better to hire drivers to European Union, yeah?
Yeah.
Now we know that it's a modern region to hire is Africa countries like Zimbabwe. Also we know about drivers from India, but companies from Europe prefer to hire drivers that have experience in driver in Arabic countries.
How much is it to get one profile, I mean the driver profile to your platform, and how do you plan to increase that from 500 to 3,000?
You mean how cost for us to get one profile of drivers, yes?
Exactly.
When we started it was more than 10 euros, but in the past 2 months we do it less than €1.
So to get to 3,000, you basically need 2,500 euros. I can give that to you today.
You ask about driver profiles or about companies?
Yeah, I asked about the company profiles. It's one of the markets.
Company profiles now it's about 170 euros to get one company. And the middle invoice that we have is 250.
All right, got it. Thank you.
So now I'm curious where you would like to spend these 500,000 euros after first round. On what?
To scale our sales, to achieve 3,000 paying companies, and to get more drivers in our database.
Okay, thank you very much. Mikalai, we are waiting for Wroom.
Sveiki, šiandien aš atstovauju startuolį Wroom, kuris kuria asmeninių automobilių dalijimosi sprendimą įmonėms, angliškai dar vadinamas carpoolas. Įmonė sumokėjusi licenzijos mokestį siūlo savo darbuotojams papildomą atvažiavimo paslaugą, kai vairuotojas, kolega važiuodamas iš namų į darbą ir atgal, paima šalia gyvenančius arba pakeliui kolegas ir taip išvengiama važinėjimą po vieną, plus siūlomas papildomas nuvažiavimas į darbą. Kodėl mes manome, kad carpoolingo populiarumas turėtų augti? Dėl keletos priežasčių. Visų pirma, kad žmonės mažiau nori turėti asmeninius automobilius, būtent dėl išaugusio aptarnavimo kašto, įvairios parkingo problemos, taip pat miestų naudojamos priemonės, kaip mažinti automobilių skaičių. Taip pat ir dauguma Z kartos atstovų yra pasiruošę dalintis savo asmeniniu automobiliu. Be to, šis sprendimas turi teigiamą poveikį aplinkai, mažindami emisijas. Ir vienais skaičiavimais yra, kad darbuotojų atvažiavimas į darbą ir atgal sugeneruoja nuo 5 iki 10% visų įmonės emisijų balanso. Taigi, kokia nauda įmonėms iš to? Visų pirma, tai papildomas būdas darbuotojams atvažiuoti. Tai yra socializacijos aspektas, galimybė pritraukti ir išlaikyti darbuotojus. Taip pat ir tvarumo imidžo didinimas. Be papildomų naudų įmonėms mes matom taip pat ir naudas carpooleriams, tiems, kurie važiuoja ir tiems, kurie vairuoja, būtent turėdami marketplace partnerių pasiūlymus, kurie siūlys įvairias paslaugas, nuolaidas, taip pat ir kažkokias papildomas naudas ar nuolaidas būtent dėl sukauptų kilometrų, kurie bus sutaupomi. Be benefitų ir carpooleriams ir vairuotojams, dar papildomos naudos miestams, bendruomenėms, taip pat ir marketplace partneriams, kurie gautų papildomų klientų. Įvairūs tyrimai sako ir apklausos, kad carpoolingas populiarės ir per artimiausius 50 metų planuojamas gan ženklus augimas. Biznio modelis, kaip minėjau, mes planuojam, kad įmonės įtrauks į savo biudžetus mobilumo išlaidų, darbuotojų mobilumo išlaidų eilutę, kas leis jiems pasinaudoti šią aplikaciją. Taip pat planuojam gauti ir komisinius iš marketplace partnerių. Konkurencija didžiulė ir auganti aplamai automobilių dalymosi segmente rinkoje. Mes manom, kad mūsų išskirtinumas yra tai, kad tu važiuoji su kolega, tai, kad tu prisidedi prie teigiamo poveikio aplinkai, mažindamas automobilių skaičių. Taip pat tai nieko nekainuoja darbuotojams, papildoma motyvacinė sistema. Žodžiu, manom, kad tie dalykai leis mums būti išsiskirti iš dabartinių konkurentų. Tai iš tikrųjų tiek, dar turime taip pat svarstome įvairius kitas integracijas su dedikuotų parkingu, su galbūt įmonių automobilių ūkio valdymu ir panašių funkcionalumų. Ačiū.
Ačiū prezentaciją. Tai klausimas. Kaip spręsit problemą, kad vieną kartą išsiaiškinau, kurie kolegos gyvena šalia, mes susitarėm ir važinėjom savo ir nebereikia mums tos programėlės?
Tai ir dabar, žinokit, yra tokių grupių, didesnės įmonės jas turi, taip sakant, bet dėl nepatogumo tu turi kažkur Excelį, turi kažkam skambinti, taip sakant, tai nėra patogu. Ir patikėkit, daug yra, kas net nežino, galbūt kaiminystė ir gyvena kažkas, taip sakant, tai ta aplikacija visgi padės. Taip pat galvojam, kad jungti ir verslo centrų lygių, tarkim, Business Gardenas domisi, kad sujungt keletą įmonių į vieną pūlą, taip sakant, pavežti. Taip pat renginių organizatoriai domisi, tarkim, važiuoti kažkur į kitą miestą, žodžiu, kad tu galėtum susipūlinti. Tai tuo variantų yra, nebūtinai tu visada su savais.
Man čia toks Wolf 15, tik tai važiuotojams.
Sauliau, ačiū už prezentaciją. Aš irgi turiu klausimą. Vat būtent tie biudžetai, kur pats paminėjai, mobilumo iš įmonių, ar ne? Tai turbūt aš asiuminu, kad plėtra į užsienį ateityje taip pat domins. Turbūt pradžioj Lietuvą vis tiek fokusuojatės, bet tie miestai, ar ne, kurie turi labiau didesnį density būtent žmonių, kur yra metro ir panašiai, tai turbūt iš to biudžeto skiriama visokius allowances metro viešajam transportui, kur turbūt piko metu, kai visi ir važiuoja į darbą, yra didžiuliai kamščiai, ar ne? Tai kodėl man būtų labiau attractive važiuoti tuo pačiu automobiliu, nei iššokti kažkokį metro, ar ne, ir turbūt sutaupyti laiko. Ir socialumo aspektas turbūt metro galiu 100 kartų daugiau žmonių sutikti, ar ne?
Taip, galima metro, bet vis tiek kažkaip manom, kad važiuojant su kolega kažkaip ten planuojam ir tam tikrą hobių informaciją pateikti ir kad galėtų pabendrauti, žodžiu, kažkaip. Tai jisai kaip tas sprendimas yra papildomas, tikrai žmonėms, jeigu patogu važiuoti su viešu transportu, viskas tvarkoja, reiškia. Yra daug procentai, ten 20-30 procentų, kuriems nepatogu, taip sakant, ir nenori vairuoti, ir galbūt sprendžia kažkaip kitaip, tai nėra nepilnai pakeis, galbūt išspręs tik tų tų žmonių, kurie turi tą problemą.
Aš noriu papildyti, kad čia iš tikrųjų iššūkis mūsų dabar yra public transportui, ar ne, viešajam transportui ir ypač rajonam. Ir čia paminėjot verslo centrus, o jums reikėtų paminėti savivaldybės ir ypač toliau nutolusias nuo šito. Ir gali būti, kad čia bus B2G verslo modelis ir gali spręsti labai didelę problemą, kuri iš tikrųjų yra ir nežino, kaip jos įspręsti.
Taip, tai yra didžiulė problema, ypač savivaldybių, kur savivaldybėse tikrai daug žmonių dirba. Taip, kad tikrai esam bendravę, jie laukia ir kai tik tai baigsim kurtą tą sprendimą, tikrai. Tai iš tikrųjų dabar labai kviečiam įmonės didesnės, kur ta problema aktuali, susisiekti su mumis ir išbandyti ir planuoja mėnesio bėgi tą sprendimą jau būti paruošę.
Ačiū labai. Tai linkiu grįžti visiems kartu, bet nepabėkit, bus dar kokteilių, tai paskui bus labai patogu Wroom pasinaudoti paslaugą, kada negalėsit vairuoti. O dabar ant scenos kviečiu ROADMASTER VR.
Hello everyone. I would like to ask if there is anybody from transport companies, can you raise hands, just because it's really should be very interesting for you, that our project and forthcoming venture. In transport sector, there are billions euros lost actually due to the accidents. And what if we could train commercial truck drivers faster, four times faster, and save for transport company up to 6,000 euros. So I would like to present ROADMASTER VR platform, cutting-edge platform, where we use virtual reality, 5G, data, machine learning, basically to train drivers and manage drivers. So our team at the moment is a project, it's R&D project. We raised 4.3 million euros and we started this project this January. So we have 7 scientists from KTU who are VR basically experienced. We have Gluck, which is 10 years in the market company, which is developing virtual reality solutions. We have VertaBlocks, which is a venture developer. And we have CargoGo as a first customer. First customer with 1,000 truck drivers. At this stage, we are on kind of TRL 6, and we're doing scientific research. So biometric technologies is integrated in the truck with the driver, and we're looking for stressful situations and basically monitoring how they drive. Based on this data, we are building quite different scenarios, for example, eco driving, changing lanes, reverse driving, etc. So the purpose of our platform is to cut the cost, to reduce accident rates for the transportation companies and increase their competitive edge. The problem in the market is around truck driver. There is a shortage, first of all, right? Shortage, millions of them in the world. There is accidents rate. So unskilled drivers come from India, from Africa, and if we can skill them, unskilled, they make accidents. So we have partnership with BTA. They see the trend that accidents rates are going up in Europe. So it's a huge problem. Onboarding issues, so onboarding assessment issues. So the drivers basically come with the licenses which are bought, let's say, and they absolutely don't know how to drive. So it's the training costs are really needed to invest in order to prepare them to drive. Solution. So we're building platform where you can assess driver, you can basically train driver, and then have the personalized training while they basically on the road, connected to telematics. We see the behavior of the drivers, and they each different scenarios are pushed, so they can open app and train basically. PricewaterhouseCoopers basically research says that virtual reality training is 4 times more effective, more faster to learn. There is much easier to remember, to apply the skills. There is more courage on this, and that's really, really, really great. What we're building, the platform, is omni-channel learning, right? So we're building, let's say, to train theory. Then we have a 360 camera. This is virtual reality already. So we can build basically situational videos with specific pointers, tests, etc. And then there is immersive part. Immersive part where you immerse and you try playing, basically it's like a game. So for example, accidents are caused by changing lanes. So on average 5 maybe to 10,000 per year per truck, depending what kind of company. And the reverse, there is the reverse driving in the parking lots, that's another. So it's about 50% of accidents is this reason. So if we start training those things, so say we can minimize, let's say, or cut the accident rate, and that could impact P&L. Yes, so at the moment, the way we imagine, let's say, the truck driver is, that's finished, right? Time finished. So finally here, you see the world. So it's like a world where you can go specifically to train, for example, skills in, let's say, reverse driving, changing lanes. Eco driving is huge. With the virtual reality training, we say that we can save up to 15% of driving of the fuel cost. And that's, again, CO2 emissions saving, and also a lot of euros, let's say, on the P&L of transport company. My time is over, so we're looking actually for innovative companies in the let's say, sourcing, driving schools, transport companies, and later next year we'll be looking for strategic investors.
Thank you for the presentation. As a strategic investor, I welcome you to apply to the Plug and Play Accelerator next year when you're ready. But my main question is, now it's a project, right? You mentioned TRL6 and regional consortia. So it's a EU-funded project. Is it a company? Is it set as a business already, or is it just for now a research project?
Now it's an AP basically agreement, and each stakeholder has its own budget. So it's at the moment it's split, and when we spin out the company will be with my other 2 tech founders, and we'll have the full 100% equity, and then we'll pay a license fee from the revenue based on this, our IP agreement that we had R&D. So KTU would get, CargoGo, Vertablox and Gluck will get a revenue share percentage.
Understood.
And we will develop the platform up to TRL9, fully high quality platform. This subsidy came from 5G sandbox that Vice Minister mentioned.
So how much do you think it will cost you to train one driver?
So what we see that the pains is on the assessment. Assessment, I see huge potential for this assessing. Imagine a truck driver assessing. So you need to check the English language, and then you need to give them to drive a truck, let's say, So you put the glasses, and then you drive the truck, for example, reverse, play several times the game. There is data, we have plenty of data, and we say, this is suitable, this is not suitable, right? So this is a fraction cost of the assessment now. So say 10, 20 times cheaper. And there is no CO2 impact. And for the training driver, we say that, again, it's a fraction. Because we have partnered with the biggest driving school in Lithuania, partnering, and they have the facilities, 15 truck driver driving, Indians driving every day. So say, it could be 10 times cheaper. We don't have this data yet. It could be 10 times cheaper to train them in virtual reality compared to, and you can train, it's scalable. So you can train them in Africa, you can train in India. That's really a game changer.
Sounds very cool, thank you.
It's a very interesting solution. Do you see from the current experience this will substitute fully real exams, or this will be initial stage?
No, it's not a replacement solution. It's actually, you integrate in the curriculum. For example, from transport company, you have specific training curriculum, and then you integrate parts of the virtual reality. You cannot basically be in virtual reality for a whole day because it's not good for your health. So you integrate, for example, 30 minutes in the first half of the day, 30 minutes in the other half of the day, and you do it during the week. So that's and then, you can do recurring. For the transport company, how we see, you get a new driver, they are trained when they come in, right, for a week or so, and then they go on driving, right? So then after 2 or 3 months, they come back. They leave for the holiday, for vacation, to meet family, etc. They come again, and then personalized training. They have the library based on the telematics, etc. They get what they need to train. They come to the class, they train because they stay for a couple of days, and they go on the journey again. And you do it recurring every year, every quarter, let's see. So that's now the way we imagine. The platform is coming Q1 2025. So we'll see how it goes.
Why are you limiting yourself only with commercial drivers? Because, the pool of drivers, it's huge, and sometimes it's even dangerous to let pupils of driving schools to the streets, It would be better to drive, let's say, VR and then to go.
I can tell you, we're not limiting. We go, let's say, with IRU. IRU is International Road Union Organization, so we go hand in hand with them. So they go for the operators of the transport as well, but we're starting from the truck. Specifically go deep into specific of the trucking. And virtual reality, we can build all these games, but the parity it reaches, it's about 400 users it has to have the platform. Then the investment into building the app, virtual reality makes sense, and there is economic benefit to this. So we're targeting enterprise level companies at the moment. And niche is now transport trucks, but then later we go to the operators of the transport, police, firefighters, all basically transportation companies.
Ačiū, Arnoldai.
Thank you.
Tai dabar mano eilė prasipičinti. Sveiki, aš Jurgis, pristatau Jums Transporto inovacijų asociaciją. Asociacija rūpinasi, kad Jūsų verslas būtų tvarus, ekologiškas, laikytųsi žalio kurso ir, kaip sakant, būtų stabilus artimiausius 10 metų. O stoti į Transporto inovacijų asociaciją apsimoka, nes gaunat bilietą į šitą renginį, praktiškai iš karto narystė ir atsiperka. O jau nekalbant apie tas žinias, kurias gaunat ar iš startuolių sesijos, ar iš tų pranešimų, kurie buvo šitas 2 dienas, tai stokit į Transporto inovacijų asociaciją, nes tai yra svarbu mūsų verslui. O dabar labai noriu padėkoti mūsų komisijai. Komisija tikriausiai dar pasiliks kokteiliui, tai bus galimybė su jais pasikalbėti, nes Roberta, Matas, Povilas tai kiekvieną dieną rūpinasi finansavimo pritraukimu startuoliui, o mes su Karoliu, tai ką mes šitie paprasti jūsų tarnai iš transporto, tai mums galit kažką tai parduoti. Tai ačiū labai komisijai, ačiū labai startuoliam, kurie šiemet buvo iš Norvegijos, iš Lenkijos ir aišku iš mūsų mylimos Lietuvos. Iš tikrųjų labai ačiū. O dabar kviečiu Gabrielę prisijungti prie manęs, nes atėjo tas momentas, dėl kurio čia matyti visi ir susirinkot, ką tos žinios, ką čia tie startuoliai.
Mes norim dovanų. And now it's time to spin the wheel, and to know the winner of our lottery. Jurgis, are you ready? Pasiruošęs?
Nepabėkit, būtinai dar gausit dviratį, gal duos pavažiuotas žmogus, tai nepabėkit, bus kokteiliai. Ir bus galimybė su visais dar pabendrauti, nes tas networkas irgi labai svarbus, tai ką, mes laukiam galimybės išrinkti nugalėtoją.
Taip, svarbiausia mūsų taisyklė yra, kad žmogus turi būti čia salėje. Jeigu jis nusprendė anksčiau išvykti, keliauti, pavyzdžiui, namo ar užsimti kitais reikalais, mes vėl iš naujo suksime ratą.
Jis su Wroom išvažiavo.
Taip, we'll spin the wheel till the winner will be here in the audience and will come here on the stage. So, are we ready? Okay, we are ready, so let's spin the wheel. Let's see.
Dreba biški širdelė, ar ne?
Visiems. And the winner is Edvinas Buklys.
Ar turime Edviną?
Yeah, he's
turim.
here. The winner of our e-bike is here. And we're saying a big thank you to Reese and Miller for this e-bike.
Nu, duosiu mikrofoną
Jurgi,
kažką.
turi mikrofoną.
Atvirai pasakius, nelabai tikėjus.
Taip sako visi laimėtojai, bet ar tikrai nesitikėjot?
Tikrai ne.
Mes sveikinam jūs, jūs esate šio elektrinio dviračio nugalėtojas, tai kur suplanavęs būsite pirmą kelionę, taip dabar pirma mintis, kur keliausit? Kur minsit?
Turbūt namo.
Turbūt namo šituo dviračiu.
Greičiausiai.
Na, mes linkėsime gero kelio, gero oro ir dar kartą pasveikinkim mūsų loterijos nugalėtoją. He is the winner of our e-bike. Thank you for our sponsors. Sveikinam. Galit apžiūrinėti, apčiupinėti, dviratis yra jūsų.
Nu, wow. Tai, matyt, reikia užbaigti.
Taip, metas iš tiesų ištarti paskutiniuosius žodžius. Mes esame dėkingi. Jurgi, ateik į scenos vidurį. Kurgi ten slėpiesi? Kampelėje.
Kiekvienais metais iš mano atsakomybių čia mažėja. Aš jaučiuosi toks geras vadovas, kad iš tikrųjų užtenka tik tai dabar kažką sugalvoti ir tas atsitinka, ar ne? Tai iš tikrųjų labai smagu. Tai aš labai noriu padėkoti šitam kolektyvui. Tiem žmonėm, kurie čia rūpinosi ir iš tikrųjų čia yra jų daug, tai gal galime jiems visi paploti. Nes tikrai viskas buvo puiku, o kas nebuvo puiku, tai kitais metais bus dar geriau.
Mes tikrai lauksime jūsų kitąmet, o dabar mes norime tikrai nuoširdžiai pakviesti, bendrauti, susijungti, pasikeisti kontaktais ir, žinoma, paklausyti geros muzikos ir pasivaišinti kokteiliu. We invite you to celebrate and enjoy some great conversations, cocktails and music, and we're saying a big thank you to our partner, Schmidt's Cargo Bull, for making this happen. Dėkojame partneriams Schmidt's Cargo Bull už tai, kad mes čia dabar turime vakarėlį. Galite pereiti į mūsų ekspozicijų erdvę ir ten jūsų laukia muzika, skanus kokteilis ir geras laikas.
Ir kompanija, mūsų transporto ir logistikos žvaigždės. Ačiū visiems, kad buvot, susitikim kitais metais.